Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mainstream Dissident. My name is Adam and I'll be your host. This episode is being recorded on September 21st, 2025. Guys, if you like the video, go ahead and click the like button. Likes are free. Leave a comment and share it around. Word of mouth advertising is very important. The reason I brought you here today is to talk about the parallels between the Charlie Kirk assassination and the Butler rally Trump rally shooting. Now, the reason I bring this up is because there are a lot of parallels, and you might be speculative of that statement, but I am going to kind of prove it in a way. And then in the latter half of the episode, I am going to touch on housekeeping. I'm going to focus on the parallels first and foremost. That way you guys can get the meat of it. And then I will clean up with a little housekeeping, keep you guys up to date with my future endeavors. And of course, I will not be direct at all. I'll be mysterious. So you guys have to stick around and watch more. So let's go ahead and check this out here. So I have been thinking, and you'll see my viewers who are watching on YouTube or Rumble, you're going to see that I have an AI overview pulled up here. My audio only listeners, I'm going to go ahead and read some stuff off for you. What I looked up was what we don't know about the Butler Trump shooting a year later, because there is a lot of things that we don't know. Very similar to the Charlie Kirk assassination. And guys, I know that you're going to say, well, it's Israel because this, and then there's money involved, and there's all this involved. I could believe it. Honestly, I could. Could I believe that Tyler Robinson did it? At this point, I would have to say no, because I have complete lack of trust in my government. I have complete lack of trust in the FBI. I do not have anything in me that is saying, yes, Tyler Robinson 100% did it alone. Now, there is another theory, and I don't know if it's been expounded upon. There's so much content being put out about the Charlie Kirk assassination, it is tough to keep up. But I don't know if anyone else has thought like I did, thinking that Antifa, they are an organized group. They're, and I hate to admit this, but they're more organized than we are. We, the generalized we. I know that there's some people that don't agree with me 100%, but as the friend-enemy distinction goes, as I spoke about in the past few episodes, you guys are my friends, so I'm going to use that generalized we. Antifa is more organized than we are. Look at the BLM riots. Look at the pallets of bricks that randomly showed up all over the nation, not just all over a few cities, all over the nation. Next thing you know, Wendy's are destroyed, CVS, Walgreens, etc. They always go for fast food and pharmacies. It's odd. It's odd. They must really hate. We can't use EBT here. Burn this mother down. That's probably it. See, I just cracked the code. But Antifa is an organized group. They are organized, and guess what? I am trying to get this across to you guys. We, the generalized we that's like, well, Adam, some of his things that he says on X, they're a little too extreme for me. Guess what? That causes division. Those people on the left, I reiterate, and you guys might get sick of me saying this, but I reiterate, they are all unified and they keep winning. They keep winning. I'm arguing with this dude on TikTok right now. He said, "Oh, we're not going to the left because the woke ideology is ending." And I might be mincing his words, but regardless, they are winning. They are winning, they are winning, they are winning the social war. This is more than just economics that we're fighting here. This is a social revolution that has been going on for decades, that has been just shifting slowly leftward. And the reason I bring up their organizational skills is because they could be working together to have Tyler Robinson be the patsy and have someone else, shooting from a different area. Now, the people that are saying, "Oh, it was a drone attack, or it was a handgun, it was a pocket gun," like you guys, let's think about, and I hate to sound like Tim Pool, but let's think of Occam's razor. Let's think of the most simple explanation with the information we have. That's one thing that pisses me off about Tim Pool. Like he says, oh, Occam's razor this. Think of the simplest answer. You have to base your simplest answer off of credible sources. You don't just say, oh, the simplest answer is that, he just got shot, not regarding any of the other facts like the distrust that we have in the FBI, their record from withholding information from us. We have to consider those things. So my theorization is that we had a second shooter or the actual shooter, and Tyler Robinson didn't even fire off a shot. Tyler was just the fall guy, whether he was anticipating being that or not. That's what it seems to be. I foresee something similar happening to. I don't wish this upon him, as crazy as it might sound. I don't wish this upon him, but I see something similar happening, just like the Lee Harvey Oswald, whenever he was assassinated by Jack Ruby. Real name is Jacoby Rubenstein, and I'm not even being facetious. That was his legal name. He had it changed to Jack Ruby. Either that or it was just a nickname, Jack Ruby. Part of the Jewish mafia back in the Kennedy assassination. Jack Ruby, Jacob Rubenstein. Look it up. You can find out a lot of information on that. But before I get too sidetracked here, that's all just theorization. My good friend Zeb Boykin, he did a ballistics video, and it holds weight. They're working on 3D rendering the entire environment there. You guys are going to want to go check out his content. It is very, very interesting. That being said, let's get into this AI overview, and I will talk to you about the parallels that I'm seeing. Now, this is not exactly shocking information, but it's the FBI's way. It's always the way. It's always been the way. They've realized from past events like the 9/11, like the JFK assassination, that they need to run a little bit of a tighter ship. And how do they run a tight ship during this information age? By withholding information. If they can withhold information, then no one will know anything. And guess what, guys? We don't know anything. So let's look at the Butler shooting here. Again, I looked up what don't we know about the Butler Trump shooting a year later. As of September 2025, 1 year after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump in the Butler, Pennsylvania, the shooter's specific motive remains unknown. Multiple investigations have also raised unresolved questions about the security failures that allowed the attack to occur. I was actually pretty shocked when I read what the AI spat me out, because it actually raises some good points. Normally you will get, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but normally you will get curated results by AI, especially Google, that sort of leave out the details that might be offensive, as they say, or as they like to at least present. So, unanswered questions about the shooter. Now, this is back in Butler, mind you. This isn't about the Charlie Kirk assassination, but notice the parallels. Notice the narrative's parallels. The unanswered questions about the shooter. Authorities have not been able to pinpoint a definitive motive for 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was killed by a Secret Service counter-sniper at the scene. No clear ideology. So the investigators found no evidence on Crook's social media accounts to suggest a clear ideological position, either left or right-leaning. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds an awful lot like what they're trying to do with the Tyler Robinson, this Matthew Crooks here. So they are saying that Thomas Matthew Crooks, excuse me, that he didn't hold a left or right-leaning position because it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. Both of these men, what we can discern from that is both of these men, 20-year-old Thomas Crooks, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, they're both early 20s. They're both recluses. They both are very reserved, very quiet, not very social, and they then go out and seemingly commit these heinous acts. And they don't have any, political leaning. They're just regular middle of the road dudes. You know what? They're telling us. They're telling us the real enemies are the centrists. So I'm keeping my eyes on you guys out there. But if we continue here, extensive planning. So they're saying that Thomas Crooks had extensive planning. An FBI analysis on his search history revealed a sustained detail effort to plan an attack on a major event. He became fixated on the Butler rally as the target of opportunity. Which, I mean, realistically, if someone is going to go do that, of course they're going to plan. They're going to do research. Even if they're a whack job like Crooks or Tyler Robinson, they're going to definitely do their research. If not, they probably couldn't pull it off. Mental state. They reported Crook's mental health appeared to decline in the year before the shooting, but no evidence of mental illness was found. He left behind no manifesto or other explanations for his actions. This is the same thing with Tyler Robinson, except dating a trans dude. That shows me that he did have mental illness. This Crooks guy, he had a face that only a mother can love, and judging by his, his actions, who knows if he really even had a good relationship with dear old mom and dad there. But there's also unresolved questions about security failures. Following the shooting, a House task force and Senate committee both released reports detailing significant failures in Secret Service operations, similar to the Charlie Kirk assassination again. So there has been rumors online about Charlie's security team either being in on it or they are just incompetent. It's hard to say. Now, Charlie Kirk is a little different than the President's United States because Charlie Kirk is just a guy. That'd be like if and now I know, hey, dude, I don't have as many followers as Charlie, but it'd be like if I went out to a public square and I had a conversation, changed my mind, did the old Steven Crowder thing or the Charlie Kirk thing, and I'm not gonna have security. Don't get any ideas out there, guys. Don't get any ideas. But the president has Secret Service. The parallels being that there both was a failure of protecting the asset, if you will. So there was a failure to secure the rooftop here in Butler, and guess what? The rooftop is where the shooting was taken from, whether you want to believe it was straight across or whether you want to believe it was from Charlie's back right, and that was an exit wound out the front of his neck. We don't know anything. We're speculating. They withhold this information from us. So instead of just giving us the truth, they create this false perception of reality to everyone instead of just being blatantly honest. Like, hey guys, here is what happened. Like the slap in the face recently. Not to get sidetracked here, the slap in the face recently for me, another one, was the Epstein thing. Like, hey, we're gonna get you the documents. Well, we got the binders. Well. Okay, it was a Democrat hoax. Dude, what? What? Now, another sad part of this is the general public, a lot of them are just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, going along with my day. But a lot of Americans are just in a complete and utter state of distrust. Just had to throw that out there real quick. So, there was also in the Butler shooting gaps in communication. Reports uncovered a chaotic mixture of radio, cell phone, and text message used for communication. Crucially, a specific threat to Trump identified by senior Secret Service officials in the days before the rally was not properly shared with the agents on the grounds. Here's something, I don't know if it's a direct parallel to the Charlie thing, but here's just a little tidbit for you. A lot of these things that happen, intelligence agencies have foreknowledge of. 9/11, maybe some of the mass shootings that take place in schools. We don't really know all the grueling details there because, again, they withhold information. They're not going to say, well, we knew about this 3 weeks prior, but we didn't tell anyone, because then that's going to show incompetency. Maybe all of us are just giving the FBI too much credit, and maybe they really are just incompetent. But then in that same breath, they can use facial recognition software and geolocating on people's phones to lock up people all from J6 and get people thrown away for anywhere from like 2 to 20 years. Um, but let's continue here. Let's continue. So there was also discrepancies in resource allocation. A Senate report claimed that the Secret Service denied resource requests from Trump's security detail, the 2024 election cycle. Blah 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 blah. Director Kimberly Cheadle, no relation to Don Cheadle, believe it or not, who has since resigned. So yeah, I did hear about that. I guess that's not a direct comparison to Charlie. More just, I guess, talking about the incompetencies of our intelligence agencies. Disciplinary actions. Yeah, when the Secret Service staff members were disciplined with suspensions, their names and positions had not been publicly released. Okay, I don't know if I read this last part before recording. Continuing misinformation. Even with the investigative reports available, conspiracy theories about the shooting continue to spread online. These false claims suggest the shooting was staged by either Democrats or Trump supporters for political gain. Conspiracy theories have also baselessly linked the attack to Ukrainian or Israeli interests. So, I was there at the Trump rally shooting. Shots were fired. Watched a man bleed all over the place, carried down on a stretcher. I was on the opposite side of Corey Competore, who lost his life that day. I know that it happened, but what I'm saying is there's a mystery on how and why and what. You cannot tell me that Thomas Crooks's Discord chat was deleted just because, hey, we didn't find anything deleted immediately. It was deleted almost immediately after, the body was recovered, his dead body on the roof. I actually, dude, it's messed up. As we were going back to the car, I looked up on the roof, dude, and I saw Thomas's Crooks's body up there, and then soon after got a picture of the dude's face. It's still on my phone. It's kind of gruesome, but so what I'm saying is the Trump shooting truly happened. No blood pack in the ear. Like, dude, I was there. I'm not, dude, people are going to be, oh my gosh, we have so much distrust. People are going to hear that and be like, mainstream dissident Adam, dude, he's a plant. He's telling people that the Trump shooting was real. Guys, I was there. I have no money in the game right now. I think I have like 110 followers. But 109, let's make it 110. But I have no skin in the game. I'm just telling you what I saw, what I experienced. If you want to hear the full details, my very first episode, the audio only episode there, I go into more detail about that. And once I start live streaming, I can talk to you guys. Like, you can ask me questions about my experience that day and everything. The main conclusion of this parallel from what we know about the Charlie Kirk assassination so far and the Trump Butler rally shooting is that the FBI is involved, and there is a lack of communication being given to the public in this information age. We should hold them to the same standards that they hold us. Hey, FBI, if you have nothing to hide, give us your information. If you have nothing to hide, give us your information. Well, we can't let the general public know this because it might cause a panic or it might cause civil unrest. What you are doing right now, you are creating the civil unrest because guess what? We're in the information age. We're all talking to one another. Everyone is communicating about this. You know it because you see it unless you truly are that incompetent. But we are all talking and we are doing our own research and we are coming up with our crazy conspiracies and we're coming up with some that kind of hold weight. But until you become a transparent organization and let the people know what's going on, then we're never going to trust you again, and we're going to come up with these crackpot conspiracies. Now, one thing that I think that would play into their favor is that they will keep subverting the truth and just kind of like letting us be crazy about it, because then no one truly knows. No one will ever truly know. Just like the Epstein thing. Guys, you think we're ever going to find out about Epstein? You think we're ever going to find out, like, hey, this one guy, let's say it's me. Let's say I discover something just in my free time. I really get into it and I discover things and I make some phone calls. No one's going to believe me. Maybe a few people will be like, whoa, check out this video. No one's going to know because there's going to be no definitive proof. Any proof and any evidence that they have on the Butler shooting or the Epstein Island thing, they will get rid of. They will destroy the evidence. That's one thing that they are good at doing, is getting rid of evidence. And since we know that that's one thing that they are good at doing, getting rid of evidence, look at the Charlie Kirk assassination. Immediately after, there's people, taking the SD cards out of cameras. Now, there were people of a different color were trying to steal things from the booth, toss out hats. You can look at the videos. People are ransacking the merch, which is pretty messed up if you ask me. But then you immediately see people taking SD cards out of the high definition cameras that were at least filming at 60 FPS, if not higher. You see that the grounds were being replaced, the pavers were being replaced, vinyl on windows being replaced, window panes are being replaced for some reason. And what I'm basically getting at here is that we do not know anything about the Charlie Kirk assassination. We know what they tell us. We can speculate, but we really don't know anything. And I'm not trying to blackpill you. I'm not trying to tell. I am not trying to tell you to stop looking. Never stop looking, but use a little bit of discernment whenever you are looking. There are a lot of good theories out there. There's a lot of good theories out there, but take what you know and use that. I'm not saying that, hey, you guys that are thinking it's Israel, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm definitely not saying you're right. The guys that are saying, well, it was a second shooter and it was this, I'm kind of more leaning into that one. I'm buying that one. That makes more sense to me. But I digress. I told you boys that we were going to be doing some housekeeping. So let's get into that real quick. Let's get into that. Here in the future, I'm going to be having multiple guests on. That generalized we I was talking about, I am going to be branching out. I am going to be the little olive branch for all of us to come together and unify, because we do need to be organized in the future, such as Antifa. I am not saying, hey, let's make our own Antifa group. No, I am saying we're better than that, so let's start acting like it. The guests that I have on upcoming in the future, you guys might not agree with 100%, but what I need you to do is just stick around and observe. Stick around and observe. Take what you hear from them, the good things, and then move on. You will be surprised. I said this in the last episode, I do believe, before my interview with Dan Bauer Music, my last solo show. You will be surprised where you can meet friends in this friend-enemy distinction that is becoming ever more real in our country. Now, why do I have these guests on who I won't tell you about? You're going to have to stay in tune. You're going to have to make an X account, and you're going to have to follow me to find out, because I interact. I give little blurbs and exposés on what I'm going to be doing in the future, any technical difficulties that I might be having that I try to correct. I will be correcting audio issues for my guest shows, by the way. Apologies to my viewers and my audio only folks. That being said, will I endorse everything that my guests are saying? No, I will not. Will I attack them? No, I will not. I might rebut them on screen or whatever. We can disagree on the minutia of things. However, when it comes down to brass tacks, we need to win. So we need to unify and move forward. We don't need to all be locking hands and singing Kumbaya, but we need to have a general idea of where we want to go. So, I might make some of you guys upset with who I have on. That's not my intentions. That's not my intentions. That's not my job to upset you. But it's also not my job to make you guys happy. My job, I feel, I'm the boss and I'm the employee, but my job, I feel, is to just get you guys to think. All I want you guys to do is think. And if this former drug addict, troglodyte looking dude can do it, uh, so can you. Just think a little bit. We can do this. We can work this out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're in this together. What I need you guys to do for me, what I need you guys to do for me is to prepare for the inevitable. I need you guys to prepare for the future. Not only in your real life, but if you like viewing me, if you like hanging out with me, if you like shooting the breeze, if you want to interact with me on live stream here in the near future, you guys are going to want to follow me on Rumble because there's a chance as I get more direct with my speech that I'm just going to be wiped off of this platform. Your favorite podcast platform that you're listening, my audio only guys, you will potentially be able to listen to me there. However, I highly recommend you going and following me on Rumble. I'll go ahead and link it into the description. I don't know if YouTube actually likes that or not, linking Rumble links in there, but I will give it a shot anyways. We're going to see what's up. Again, go ahead, stick around. We're in it for the long haul, baby. We're doing this. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time. I anticipate laughs and joy for years to come. If you guys like what you heard today, go ahead and like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. All my audio only listeners, go ahead and 5-star review. And this has been another episode of Mainstream Dissident. My name is Adam. I've been your host. Until next time.